Hi friends, welcome to a special Friday edition of Facebook Live here at Jesse James Beads. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal week. We are rolling right on up to the edge of Jesse James Beads summer camp, you guys. It is literally a little over 2 days away. Can you believe it? I'm so excited. I am really looking forward to it. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And how are you guys feeling about it? Who's excited? I am. So we're not quite there yet. So in the meantime, we have another project for you guys to kind of give you some inspiration to get you into the weekend. For those of you who are going to be joining us for summer camp, maybe you need a distraction, right? Maybe you need a little distraction project to keep you from just bouncing all over the place waiting for our summer camp adventures to start on Monday. Mary says it's been so long since we all met. Right? It's been about an hour. Some of you, well, not everybody, but a lot of you guys joined me at 1 p.m. over on Sarah Ellis Designs for a project, and this is the second time you're getting to see me today. So yes, it's been a minute. Oh gosh, I can't wait for camp either, Willow. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to have so much fun. But you know what? Even those of you who are not going to be able to attend the Jesse James Beads summer camp, there is still a lot of fun stuff going on next week that is going to include everybody. So don't feel like you're going to be left out in the dark or in the cold or whatever, description you want to use. There are going to be some great deals next week. There are going to be some fun extras next week. There is perhaps a scavenger hunt in the works. So there's going to be stuff for everybody. All right. So if you didn't make summer camp this year, that's all right, because we are still going to have a whole week full of good fun and inspiration and just celebration, right? It's kind of like the last kind of hurrah before we start really kind of buckling down and thinking about fall and the holidays and how weird all of that's going to look this year. But I don't know. Try not to think about it too much at the moment, right? Just dealing with one day at a time. Okay, so what's on the agenda for today? On the agenda for today, we are using Carmel by the Sea, and you guys have not opened it yet. So we're kind of designing on the fly. Like, I have an idea in mind, have not executed it. I thought that would be fun because you guys like it when we do that kind of thing. But I am going to keep it easy. We're going to keep it easy and simple. We're just going to do some wire wrapping. We're actually going to use the artistic wire Mandrel tool. We're going to use the oval that we never use. So I thought that would be fun. Willow says she loves my necklace. Thank you. My JJB Love Mail pal, Miss Gloria West, made this for me. And I love it. It's one of my favorite colors ever. So thank you. Thank you. Carmel by the Sea is a bead mix that is part of the California road trip collection from Jesse James Beads. So we've been kind of going along on Sarah's journey with her. I'm going to pull up what the other ones are because I don't want to just totally forget which ones. So we started out with Grass Valley. That was the first bead mix that we used. And then we went to the Redwoods, right, with the Redwoods mix, and then Sonoma, and we actually used it yesterday and on Monday. And then today we are using Carmel by the Sea. And you guys, if you're not aware of Carmel by the Sea, look it up, Google it, because it's like literally a little storybook village. There are little cottages, there are museums, it's a really, really cool place that it's on my bucket list for sure. I've never been, but I definitely want to go there. So that's what has inspired this bead mix right here. Some really gorgeous beads in here. We'll open this up and take a look at it and put together a fun, easy bracelet for today. And just a reminder of the weekly deals, because the weekly deals are good until Monday. You've got free shipping on $139 orders. There is no code needed for that. You also get buy two, get one free on all tools. And the code for that is tools. And you guys, if you have been waiting and kind of waiting to see when the tools were going to go on sale, there's something in particular that you need, this is a really good coupon code to use for that, because tools tend to be an expense. I get it. I know. I do have a tool obsession, but it definitely comes with a price tag. I mean, that's just the truth. I've been collecting tools forever and a million years, and I have to have them all, but they are not free, right? And so whenever there's a deal on tools, I definitely recommend using it, just because I realize that tools can be an expense, but they are quality, top-notch tools that are available over on Jesse James Speed's website. So if you've been holding out, now is your chance. And last but not least, there is a weekly deal that is 10% off of the Find Your Zen collection. You guys remember these were the beautiful ones with the tassels and the Tibetan boho beads in them. And oh yeah, so pretty. And the code for that is Zen. All right, so all of the housekeeping is taken care of. And Joe says, I'm glad I'm not alone. I love tools. I do too, and I have to have them all. I don't know why. I feel the need to own them all. It's a problem. There's probably a 12-step program for that. Okay, let's get down to it. Let's work on opening this package and playing with these beads. So again, the project today is going to be pretty easy. We're just going to kind of play it by ear. This is the packaging, Carmel by the Sea, and I will dump this into a little container here. You guys know how weird I am about opening the packages. I can't just tear into it. I have to like open the package with pliers, no less. And oh no, there's another one, another staple. No, get this staple opened up. So you guys have any fun plans for the weekend? What's everybody going to be doing this weekend other than gearing up for summer camp? Any beady adventures in your future? Oh wow, yeah, this is really pretty in person. Oh wow. Okay, so first and foremost, these bohos, yep, those are gorgeous. So they're kind of like a coffee creamer color. I know that's not like an official color, but oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. These, I love these. This was like what jumped out at me immediately. Look at these little faceted beads. I am in love. I want to find a way to use these in our design. So they are little circle beads, but they're drilled through the front. See, where you could attach a jump ring, or you could wire wrap right there if you wanted to. And they come to a point on both sides. So they have that really interesting facet to them. Gosh, that's pretty. Those are so pretty. All right, and wowza, hello, look at that. That's gorgeous. Look at the facets on that one. Yes, please. And they're drops. I love drops. Oh yeah, yes. More of kind of that really beautiful, kind of creamy coffee creamer color. That's just what's stuck in my head at the moment, but it's just such a wonderful kind of tan neutral, I don't know, it's just beautiful. And then these guys as well. I love drops. I'm such a huge fan. Gosh, there's a little bit of everything in here. So there are some little copper spacers. Look at those guys. Those are really pretty. There are two different kinds of tassels. So you've got some blue and you've got some white. Love those. These guys are really cool. So I don't know exactly what you call these, but they are like, it's purple, but more of a blue, like kind of a periwinkle, if you will. But they have that swirl through them. Those are gorgeous. It's like, it reminds me of water. And some little check glass hearts. Those are beautiful. There are rondelles and bicones. There are some pops of brass in here as well. Some peachy colors. Those look like bubbles. Those are so pretty. And then some, whoa, some more little rondelles in that kind of brown color that I'm obsessing over. And then some little mother of pearl in a mint green. And then these guys that look like mermaid tails. Yeah, this is a really, really beautiful mix. I gotta say, the entire California road trip collection has just been stunning, stunning. And this one is no exception. This is an absolutely gorgeous mix. And I love all of the shapes. The shapes and the styles in these mixes have just been like out of this world. So pretty. Excuse me. All right, so what are we gonna do? Well, I think we are gonna use some gold colored wire for this project. So I grabbed, though I do think silver would look really good with this as well, because of all the light blues that are in there. I grabbed, well, a big mess of 22 gauge wire here. I don't know how I ended up with such a mess. Okay, well, so I've got some 22 gauge wire and some 18 gauge wire. I think we're gonna play with the 18 gauge wire and the artistic wire mandrel tool, and we are gonna just kind of wire wrap a little bracelet together. But I wanted to add like some fun dangles and like extra stuff to it. So it's gonna be pretty straightforward, but I feel like we are gonna do some little extra things. I don't have any measurements because this is literally on the fly. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so I've got the 18 gauge wire here. I'm just gonna trim off a length of this, and I've put the oval onto the artistic wire mandrel. And I don't think we've ever used the oval for anything, but we're gonna use the oval today. And we might use it next week. I can't decide if I want to do the oval or the circle because they both work for the project that we're doing at the end of the week next week, but we're definitely going to use the oval today. So I'm going to take a piece of the 18 gauge wire and I'm going to come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want a small oval for this. I don't want anything crazy. I'm just going to kind of find the middle of the wire, place it down with my finger, and then I'm just going to guide that 18 gauge wire around the mandrel, right, until we crisscross on the other side. I'm going to take my pliers and bend one of those pieces straight up and down. Okay, I know you're at a weird kind of angle here. Okay, now I'm going to take this wire and I'm just going to wrap around, and I'm going to leave it on the tool as I do this. I just feel like it's a little bit easier to use the artistic wire mandrel to make your shapes if you leave them on the tool as you're working. So I'm just going to wire wrap about 2 times, and we have the cutest little oval. Look at that. What a wonderful shape that we never use. Okay, we need to use this shape more often. I am saying that to you and to me. Like, why haven't we used the oval before? I love it. I love it. That's such a sweet little shape that you could turn into a million different little things. Oh, I like it. All right, so we're going to trim off the tail. We might make a few more of these because I think we're going to make leaves out of these, if you will. All right, so there's our little oval. I trimmed off the tail. We've still got a stick here. Yeah, we're using 18 gauge wire for this. I'm using German style wire for this. And clean that up just a little bit. Okay, I like it. I like it. We could leave this just like it is, but let's add something gorgeous to it and then take it to a whole different place, shall we? Now I just have to decide what out of these gorgeous beads I want to use. I think that's probably going to be the hardest part. Yep, that's the one. Okay. So I'm going to use this gorgeous bead that reminds me of mermaids. Yeah, I'm in love with that. That's so, so pretty. So I do have a little bit of a tail here. You can do a wrapped loop right here if you want, or you can just do a simple loop. I realize that this 18 gauge wire is a little on the thick side, so it might be a little difficult to do a wrapped loop. So if you are inclined to just do a simple loop, that's totally fine, okay? But I am gonna do a wrapped loop, and I'm gonna come in with my round nose pliers and take that up and over. Roll those pliers out of the way and take the wire over to the other side. We're going to do a lot of wire wrapping, so you guys are going to get to see lots of loops today. And then I'm going to wire wrap. And it does help to use pliers with the 18 gauge wire because this is a thick wire. Definitely not super thick, but as far as for wire wrapping is concerned, it does take a little extra strength. So there's our wrapped loop. And I'm going to trim off this little tiny bit of a tail that we have. Okay. All right. So now I want to do something a little different. Not that I don't absolutely adore this shape, because I do. I think it's just the cutest ever. And I don't know what it is, but I like the small out of the ovals. And I mean, we can make a huge oval if we wanted to with our tool, but I'm kind of partial to the small. So I'm going to come in here with my chain nose pliers and grab it right at the end, okay? And then I'm just very carefully going to bend. Look, I'm not doing anything major, just making a little bend. And look, we have a little leaf. And now we can open it up and make it a little fatter if we want to. But we have the cutest little leaf shape by just kind of making a little crook right at the end. Or, okay, I see a leaf. If I turn it to the side, I definitely see a wing. So a little fairy wing or an angel wing or a bird wing, anything that you needed to make wire wings for, it's that easy. Like make an oval on the mandrel, just a little turn right at the bottom, and you're gonna have the cutest little shape. I love that. I think that is super cute, and I feel like a lot of these in different sizes, like all hung on a chain as a big cluster for the drop of the center of a necklace would be really, really cool and fun. You could wire wrap back and forth with some seed beads through the center if you wanted to. Or not, right? You could just leave it like it is. But I'm feeling it. I don't know what it is, but this shape has really been calling to me over the past few days. And we're going to be using a very similar shape in our project next week for summer camp. Won't be exactly like this, but it is very, very similar as far as the shape is concerned. But yeah, I thought that was super cute. And I mean, maybe you don't like it. Maybe you just like the oval. Either way, I think that it's really, really cute. So let's do a couple. I think these would make really cute earrings too, by the way. Okay, so let's do a couple more of those because I want to hang like, I don't know, maybe 3 of these from our bracelet. Got a couple of these little beads here. So let's make a couple more just so that we get the extra kind of practice. Okay, so again, I'm going to come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps down. There's a question. It says, would it be possible to make an earring hook instead of a wire wrapped loop? Yes. I'm not really sure exactly how to answer that question. That's kind of a difficult one to like walk through as far as I'm just trying to think like what the logistics behind that would be, but we'll play. I think I know what you're talking about, and we can play with that here in just a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So laying that wire right at the kind of the middle, right? Guide the wire around so that it crisscrosses on the other side, okay? And then I'm going to take one of the wires and bend it straight up and down, right? Oops, that wasn't really straight up and down. That's more straight up and down. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to take this tail end of the wire, leaving it on the tool, and I'm going to wire wrap around that straight section, just like so. Okay, and come in with my cutter tool, trim off the tail, and we've got a little oval that is just as cute as can be. I love that. Kathy says, I'm feeling a large shape for a dragonfly. Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. They make the coolest wings, right? I mean, it makes a great leaf or feather, but it also makes a really cool wing for any kind of insect or fairy or angel or just, you know, butterflies, dragonflies, anything you could possibly think of that needed wings, right? All right, let's drop our bead down. So I'm still thinking about that question. I'm not going to do it with this one, but I will. Let's revisit that in just a second. Let's go ahead and do a wrapped loop right here on this one. Okay, and excuse me. Actually, you know what? Well, I'll do it again here in just a second. So I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers and go up and over. I feel like maybe this is where she's asking. So if you were using if you were using the bell making pliers, right? The large bell making pliers for this rounded section right here, then yeah, you could trim off right in there and you would have an ear wire. Absolutely. You could open this up just a little bit, right? But yeah, so I hope that answered your question. It took me a minute to kind of figure out exactly, but on a larger scale, I believe that yes, you could absolutely make an ear wire out of this. You definitely would need something larger than your round nose pliers though to make that curved shape right there. All right, so back on the tool, take that wire on over to the other side, and then we are going to wire wrap. I am a little short on wire for this one. I don't like that. I might have to remake this one. I didn't give myself nearly enough wire. You see how there's a space? I didn't have enough to wrap around 3 times. I'm not 100% a fan of that, but it'll be okay for now. I'll change it later. All right, so again, we have our cute little oval shape, right? Come in with our chain nose pliers and just grab, and I'm just grabbing with the tip of the pliers, okay? You can see just how far down. I mean, it's just like literally right at the tip of the pliers, and it's in the middle, okay? And then I'm just kind of bending the ply. Well, I'm not really bending. I'm just kind of twisting my hand to create just a little crook in the wire. And then I come in with my pliers and open them up a bit just to kind of widen out the shape a little bit. You don't have to do that part if you don't want to, right? But look, you have wings if you attached them to something else, right? Or if you had your little beads in the middle, you had your wires, you could make a really cute little butterfly. Yeah, so but we're gonna pretend like ours are leaves just for today, but you literally can make those whatever you want to, and they can go in either direction. Mine are going in the same direction, but you could mix it up and do your little twist at the bottom either direction. Okay, let's make one more, and then let's put together a bracelet using some of these gorgeous beads, because I cannot wait to get my hands on the rest of these. All right, so another piece of wire, way longer than what I needed. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down from the top. Okay, placing the wire on and bringing the wire around, crisscross. And I'm going to take my pliers and take one of those wires and bend it straight up and down. Okay, then I'm going to take the other one and wire wrap around about 3 times. Okay. And then I'm going to take that off of the tool. The cutest little oval shape ever. And now trim off our tail. Okay. Pop on one of these kind of iridescent green beads, if you will. And then we will do our little wire wrapped loop at the top, bending the wire. I'm going to come in with the round nose pliers. We'll go up and over, roll out of the way, and wire wrap, and then we will trim off our tail. Okay. All right, now, again, we want to come in with our chain nose pliers, grab right in the middle of the bottom of our oval, right? With the chain nose pliers right at the tip. And I'm just gonna roll my hand just a little bit to create that little shape. And then kind of open it up just a little. And there we go. So these make super cute little earrings too, but I feel like they make the coolest little charms. And I think that they will look like interesting little dangles for our bracelet. Okay. All right. So let's put together, let's just lay out some of our beads here. So here's my little bead mat, just so things don't go rolling around on us. Okay. And maybe I should have made 4 of these now that I think about it. Yeah, because I think I want to put a boho in the middle. I definitely want a boho in the middle. Okay, well, I'm going to make one more real quick. We'll go fast through this one, okay? Because you guys have seen me do it 3 times now. We'll do one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know, so caught up in the little leaf shapes. I think we all kind of forgot where we were going to go with this. But you know, it doesn't have to be a bracelet. Like, you could use these little shapes for earrings. You could put together a really beautiful, like the way that it's laid out right now. Like I see like the center of a necklace, right? With some beads in between here, and then maybe some chain reaction as the length of our necklace. So a lot of different possibilities, right, with this fun shape. All right, let's do our wrapped loop real quick. That's okay. So I'm using 18 gauge wire. Terry said, missed the beginning. What gauge of the wire? Just using some 18 gauge wire. You can do this with 20, but you're going to need to work harden it quite a bit. I'm not really work hardening this because our little ovals are so small. If I were making a larger oval, I definitely would pop this over on the block and hit it with a nylon hammer just a little bit. But I feel like these, because they're small, I feel like they're gonna hold up their shape, no problem. All right, bringing the pliers in right at the end again, and just kind of roll, right, and open up a little, and there we go. Okay, yeah, I feel better now that we have an even number. So we're gonna put our little boho, not little, that's an amazing boho. We're gonna put that in the middle. And let's see, what else can we do to this? I'm feeling like I want to add these little drop beads or they're not really drops. Because they're drilled on the front, though, they very easily could be drops. Let's see. Maybe we'll drop these down too. Maybe? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We're designing on the fly. You never know. Never, ever know. Okay, so I definitely want to use some blue in this. And there are some gorgeous blue rondelles here. So I want to put rondelles. What else do I want? Should we put, let's see. Oh, I just noticed these guys too. I don't know. What shall we do? What do you guys think? What else should we add to this? There are these little, those are so pretty. I don't know where I would put those, but and then these tiny little rondelles. So much to choose from. So many beautiful things. Like, I don't know. Okay, let's start with what we've got here. Okay, so let's take some sections of 22 gauge wire and let's start in the middle and kind of work our way out, shall we? We'll see what happens. All right, should we use 22 or should we stick with the 18? It's a little more heavy duty. Don't know. Yeah, okay. Forget the 22. I'm just making changes all over the place, you guys. But you know what? That's okay. That's what design on the fly is. So I'm going to cut a section of 18 gauge wire. I just kind of want to keep everything balanced. We've got this 18 gauge wire in some of the dangles that we're using. So just to keep all of the wire kind of the same, you know, just the same heaviness, we're going to use the same gauge wire here. Let's see. There was a question. Susie says, why do you use such a small mat? Just wondering. Well, it's because I try to keep the background white, you know, and this is just a piece of felt. It's just, and it's the only size that I have. Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of personal preference. It's because all the other bead mats in the regular sizes, this color just washes everything out. So I try to keep as much white in the background as possible so that we really get kind of the true color of the beads without any of the blues or those weird kind of cream colors from the other bead mats. Okay, so I'm coming down on that wire with my chain nose pliers and I'm going to bend our wire just like so. Now remember, we're using this 18 gauge wire, so this is a thicker wire for sure. Okay, coming in with my round nose pliers, grabbing the wire so that it is running between the barrel of the pliers. I'm going to take it up and over the top barrel of the pliers. I'm moving the wire but not the tool. Okay, but now in order to take this wire over here to the other side to complete our loop, I definitely need to move the bottom barrel of the pliers out of the way. Okay, and so to do that, I just roll the pliers upwards, right? I'll go from this position to this position. That opens up the space right here where I can take the wire on over to the other side. Okay, so when I take this off of the tool, you can see where I have completed the loop. All right, back on the tool, switching hands, put my round nose pliers in my left hand, and then I'm going to do about 3 wire wraps. And basically we have just created a wire wrapped eye pin. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and just trim off that tail as close as we can. And we're going to thread on our gorgeous boho bead. All right, and then we are just going to wire wrap on the other side so that we have connections on either side of this gorgeous bead. So just following the same steps, okay, up and over, roll the pliers out of the way, take the wire on over to the other side, and we will wrap about 3 times. Okay, so we've got our loops on either side, and we are going to come in and trim, and that will be the center star of our necklace, right? Gorgeous. Okay, so let's see. Now I want our little rondelles, and we're going to connect this with jump rings. So it may be that we don't need a ton more beads in the actual length of the bracelet. We'll see. So I'm going to cut 4 more pieces of our 18 gauge wire, and then we'll wire wrap those, create some little wire wrapped sections, and we'll start to assemble with our jump rings and then add our dangles and see what else we need to add to this. And if we need to, we can always come in, open up the jump rings and kind of rearrange, right? Linda says, wowza, is that a boho bead or a Fabergé egg, right? That's very much what the boho beads remind me of. That's crazy. All right. So again, we're just creating another wrapped loop. Okay, up and over, rolling the pliers and switching hands. Okay, straighten out our wire, and then we're going to trim. Okay, and we're going to thread on one of these gorgeous blue. Oh yes, those are so pretty. This bead mix is just really gorgeous, really gorgeous. And you guys, over on the Jessie James Beads website, like the photographs are so good. They really are. Like the photographs of the beads, they really give you a very good glimpse of what these beads are going to be. But sometimes you gotta have them in your hands to really truly appreciate just how amazing they are. And I feel like this is definitely one of those mixes where it looks good on the computer, but dang, when you get that in your hands, like, gosh, that's pretty. You know, I mean, even just the blue rondelles have like this rainbow. It's just a whisper of that AB finish. It's just a whisper, and it's enough under the lights here to just be brilliant. It's so gorgeous. So yeah, this is one super gorgeous set. All right, so we're just following the same steps, just kind of going quickly through this since we've walked it through kind of slow already. So just working up some wrapped loops. Put on another one of these gorgeous rondelles. Okay. All right, so there are our wraps on either side. Wendy says she had to go over to JJB and order 2 before they were gone. That was a smart move, my friend. Yep, because this set is going to be, this little mix is going to be gone. I'm telling you, it's gorgeous. And if you guys want to see like a breakdown of the individual beads, when you go over to the website, particularly those of you who are new to Jessie James Beads, when you go over to the website and you click on the bead mix and you bring it up, it's going to give you a really cool little description to go with the mix. And then you can also click next to the picture to see another picture of the beads. And a lot of times there is a picture where all of the beads are separated out, so you can see each little kind of bead. Like you can see all of these guys together in a group, and you can see all of these guys together in a group, so that if you're looking for specific bead shapes or you're looking for specific bead sizes, you're going to get a really cool look, not just at the mix as a whole, but you're going to see like a breakdown of all the beads that are included. And I think that that's really kind of above and beyond, you know, for sure. Also, for those of you who happen to be new to Jessie James Beads, check out the blog. All of the information about what is new and fun and happening with Jesse James Beads is available on the blog. That's also where all of our projects are posted so that you can see all of the projects. You can check out projects from the past and get inspiration if you need some inspiration. And the mailing list, definitely sign up for the mailing list. That way you're going to be the first to know when new bead mixes are released, and you're going to have the inside scoop on all of the fun happenings with Jesse James Beads. For instance, our summer camp that is happening next week. If you were part of the mailing list, then you heard about summer camp before, maybe not a whole lot before, but you did hear it before everybody else did. So you get the inside scoop, if you will. You can be the first in the know, and that's always fun. All right, so we've created our little links of beads here. So we've got all of these gorgeous blue rondelles that have a loop on either side so that we can connect these to whatever we want to connect them to. You make our own little beaded chain here. You could have wire wrapped these directly to each other and just snapped your little loops together without using any of the jump rings. But I like jump rings because they do give me an opportunity to add more dangles. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna move this up just a little bit, and we are going to start connecting things here. And I don't like to normally open and close jump rings more than once. But in a design like this, where we're kind of doing it on the fly and we're not real sure what we're going to do, we may open and close these jump rings a couple times. So do as I say, not necessarily as I do. So next to the boho, I've thread on one of our little leaves, and I'm going to thread on one of our rondelles and close that jump ring back. So now you can see our little leaf is going to hang down between. And we may add some more to this too, but that's why I say we may open these jump rings a couple more times. We'll just have to see. Don't know for sure. Okay, so same thing. Okay, so we've got our little charms here. Whoops. I'm going to open this one back up. I don't like the way this one was connected, so hold on. Let's see. Better. Just had to flip that around. Okay. So there's that. I'm really seeing a necklace here. We're making a bracelet and I'm like, ooh, it's a necklace. It's the front of a necklace. So honestly, this whole little design, you could do whatever you wanted to with it, right? This could be like the center of a really gorgeous necklace. Could be a charm bracelet. I don't know. I'm feeling necklace as I'm building bracelet. That's just it's a funny feeling for sure. Like, that's not what this is supposed to be. Just gonna fight that urge though. I said we're making a bracelet, and by golly, that's what we're gonna do. Okay. So get all of these linked rather together, and see if we need extra. I don't think we do. I think we've got a good length here as far as a bracelet when we add jump rings to the ends and a finding. I feel like that's a pretty good length, but right? Rosanna says you can always change your mind. The beauty of beading. Sometimes things want to be something different. They do. And I always stick by the woman's prerogative to change their mind. I pull that card out quite frequently, whether it is in beading or in life in general, and it annoys my husband to no end, but it's a valid argument. It's a valid argument. So, all right, let me grab a clasp, and then let's look at this some more, because I feel like we could stop at this point, but I don't want to. I just don't want to. I want to add more to this because I feel like it needs more. However, if you are not in the mindset that this needs anything else, because I realize the dangles are a little large, you could always make your little leaves smaller if you wanted to. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. But I feel like I want to add some more of these gorgeous beads. All right, so there's all of that. And everything seems to be, yeah, everything's gonna lay the way I want it to. Okay, so I love these. I wanna add some of these, and maybe this is just gonna be extra, like too much extra, but I'm not convinced that that's a thing, so I don't know, maybe we'll just add this guy up here at the clasp. I just think these are so pretty. I can't not add that. And so it's a front drilled bead. You can definitely wire wrap. You would just do the Bracelet style wire wrapping to that. But because of the placement of that hole and the size of that hole, it's really just much simpler just to add a jump ring to it. You don't have to make it harder on yourself, right? You can just keep it like it is. Let's see. Just take a look at our beads for a second. So we have so much extra to work with. We could very easily just put together a pair of earrings to go with this if we wanted to. I mean, there's so many beads left that really the sky is the limit here. You could make a double strand bracelet if you wanted to. You could make several pairs of earrings to go with this. You could definitely turn this into a necklace and bead some more out the edges if you wanted to. A lot of different options. You could add tassels to it as well. Oh gosh, that's pretty. I'm liking that too. Okay, we're gonna add a tassel because I mean, why not? So the tassels have simple loops on them, and you can either add these via jump ring, or you can very gently open by using that lateral kind of twisting motion, right, to open and close the loop. A lot of times though, I like to just use a jump ring. For one thing, it does add a little extra length, but it's up to you. But I feel like we have to have a tassel as well, so I'm gonna hook that over here. And notice I'm working on the end with the clasp. A lot of times if I'm gonna add extra little dangles and things to the ends of my bracelet, I want to add those to the side that actually has the clasp instead of the end down here, just so that when I go to put my bracelet on, I'm not accidentally hooking my clasp to the jump ring, excuse me, or part of a wire wrapped loop where I have a dangle. It just keeps me from having that kind of frustration. So anything extra that I add to the ends, I really try to focus on the clasp end. That's just personal preference. It just makes things easier for me, but you guys can do whatever. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to say that this is finished. I know that I could add a million more beads to this and would be just as happy as a clam to do so. But gosh, you guys, what a fun charm bracelet. I love it. I love it. So I'm gonna leave it as it is. I'm gonna take some pretty pictures of it. I'm gonna take some pretty pictures of these beads, and then we will get that posted for you guys so that you can use this as your inspiration if you need a little inspiration for your weekend, right? But otherwise, I think I'll call it a day. And I kind of have this feeling that at some point this afternoon, this might morph into a necklace, but I don't know. I don't know. It's telling me that it wants to be a necklace, but I don't know. I've got so many other beautiful beads to play with. I feel like maybe I should give them some starring roles in some pieces of jewelry too. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, but just a quick and easy project for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was fun. It was different, right? We made these cute little leaves or feathers, if you will, and got to play with some gorgeous beads. So I think it was a success. I think we had a good little time with it. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I appreciate it very, very much. I I don't know, I get nervous when it's on the fly, but I feel like sometimes when we do design on the fly, sometimes the pieces that we create turn out to be some of the best ones, even though it is kind of a stressful situation for me because it makes me a little nervous, but I feel like we make some really cool jewelry when we design on the fly, so I don't mind to do those for you guys every now and then, right? Not every time. I would probably be a nervous wreck if that were the norm, but I don't know. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me for an extra Facebook Live this week. You guys, I hope I've given you some inspiration to kind of keep your thoughts busy, right? Keep your creativity going so that you are not just sitting and watching the time go by, waiting for Jesse James Bead Summer Camp, because I know I'm going to be. And hopefully I've given you something to keep yourself busy for a little while. Definitely check out this bead mix. It's going fast. I would imagine that it is, it's probably not going to last a whole lot longer. So if you want one, you might want to grab one. Check out the rest of the California Road Trip collection, because not only was this one gorgeous, but the whole collection is just amazing. They are some really gorgeous mixes inspired by our dear friend Sarah James and her fantastic voyage that she is on at the moment over on the West Coast. So glad that she is sharing her inspiration and all of the things that she sees with us in the form of beads, right? That's the best. That's better than pictures. All right. So you guys have a wonderful rest of the afternoon. Have a wonderful weekend. If you need me for any questions, definitely reach out to me. I try to stay off of social media on the weekends, but you almost always can reach me Monday through Friday via Facebook if you need me for anything, and I'm always happy to help if you've got questions. Make sure you join our secret stash group over on the Jesse James Beads Facebook page, and I think that's it. Take advantage of the weekly deals, and I will see you guys on Monday for our very first day of camp. So have a great one. I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.